Right then, Thailand's new government, freshly blessed by the king himself, has looked at our hordes of holidaymakers and said, right, you, out faster. 60 days of sun, sin and sticky rice, apparently that is now an insult to common sense. The minister stood up in Parliament this week, first meeting mind you, and told the world, we do not want your backpacker peanuts anymore. Bring gold or go home. Besides, you know what? For once, I am not grumbling. Well, not much. Welcome to Isaan, where the buffalo are slower than Thai internet and the Farang, that is I, has just poured himself a very large lao cow. Blimey, nearly lost my dentures. Right, where was I? Ah, yeah. The end of the 2-month holiday. Let me set the scene. It is hot. It is always hot. I'm sitting on my porch in rural Isaan, that is the dusty rice paddy corner of northeast Thailand, where the beer is cheap and the neighbours think I am insane because I mow my lawn at 7 a.m. The new parliament has just opened its gilded doors in Bangkok, and the tourism and sports minister, a chap with a very serious tie and a plan, steps up to the microphone. And what does he say? He says they are slashing the visa-free stay from 60 days down to 30. Poof, just like that. Half your holiday gone. Now, before you choke on your pad thai, let me explain. The data, and I love a bit of data because it proves I am not just a grumpy old sod, shows that the average tourist stays about 9 days. 9! Most of you lot rock up, spend 3 days in a Bangkok mole, 2 days nursing a hangover in Phuket, then fly home with a fake singlet and a sunburn shaped like a flip-flop. You are not using the 60 days, you are barely using a fortnight. So, why the change? 2 reasons. First, the government has realised that low-value tourism is a polite way of saying people who haggle over 20 baht for a coconut and then complain the beach has too much sand. They want high spenders, the sort of traveller who buys art, eats at the fancy riverside restaurant and tips the house cleaning woman without asking for a receipt. Second, and here is the juicy bit, they have caught on to the cheeky buggers misusing the longer stays. You know the type. The digital nomad who claims he is on holiday but spends 6 weeks running an unregistered marketing agency from a hammock. Or the retired geezer who just loves the culture but is actually teaching dodgy English classes under the table. The authorities have finally woken up. Illegal work is illegal work, even if you are wearing elephant pants while doing it. The minister said it plain as day. The current 60-day allowance exceeds typical travel behaviour. That's bureaucrat speak for most of you do not need it, and the ones who do are probably up to no good. Now, I can hear you asking, but what if I genuinely want 2 months of blissful temple hopping and mango sticky rice? Well, you are not entirely stuffed. They have kept the destination Thailand visa, the DTV for those who like acronyms, which gives you a lovely 180 days. You just have to prove you are not a vagrant. Show some funds, a work contract from overseas, or a certificate saying you are learning how to cook tom yum without setting off the smoke alarm. Reasonable, really? However, here is where my grumpy heart actually warms a little. This is not just about visas. The government is planning a proper shake-up. They want to split the Ministry of Tourism and Sports into 2 separate beasts. Sports gets its own corner to shout about Muay Thai and whatever that funny game is where they use feet instead of hands. Meanwhile, tourism is bundled together with culture. Yes, culture. As in, please stop treating our ancient temples like backdrops for your Instagram reel where you twirl a see-through umbrella. They are talking about promoting must-visit destinations outside the usual suspects, not just Phuket, Pattaya and the cramped bit of Koh Samui. They want you to go to the sticky waterfall in Trat, the lotus lakes in Udon Thani, the dinosaur fossils in Kalasin, and no, that is not a metaphor for old expats like me. The stated goal is sustainable tourism. That means spending the money around so local communities are not fighting over the crumbs of a busload of day trippers. It means safety measures that do not involve a police officer with a breathalyzer and a hopeful smile. Besides, it means encouraging year-round travel so the poor hotel owners in low season do not have to survive on instant noodles and prayer. Let me give you an example from my own village. Last month, a German chap turned up on a motorbike. Nice fella. Said he was here for the real Thailand. Stayed 3 weeks in a hut with no aircon. Loved it. Then he tried to fix the neighbour's water pump. Charged them 2,000 baht and called it a consultation fee. That is not a tourist. That is a one-man illegal plumbing racket. Under the new rules, he will be out on his ear at day 30. Good riddance. The genuine tourists, the ones who smile, learn to say Kap Kun Kap, even though they get the tone wrong, and buy a hand-woven scarf from Auntie Somchai. Those people will either adjust to 30 days or get the proper visa. And you know what? They will have a better time. Less rushing, less burnout, more quality. Now, I am not daft. There will be a howling from the budget backpacker brigades. But my gap year! But I need 2 months to find myself. Mate, if you cannot find yourself in 30 days, the problem is not the visa. Of course, the airlines will grumble and the beach bars that sell buckets of cheap whiskey will weep into their blenders. However, the majority of Thais, they are cheering because for years they have watched their beautiful country become a discount Disneyland for the worst kind of tourist, the one who spends little, complains lots and leaves nothing but footprints and empty Chang bottles. Many would say, and I am one of them, that Thailand has finally listened to its citizens. Common sense has prevailed. Besides, that is rare as hen's teeth in any government, let alone a new one. So, here is my final word, delivered from a squeaky chair in the middle of a rice field with a lizard on the wall judging me. If you are a genuine traveller who wants to see the real Thailand, the one with soul, not just selfie sticks, you have nothing to fear. Come for 30 days, spend well, be nice, go home with memories, not a court date. And if you are one of those who plan to overstay, work illegally or argue with a 7-Eleven cashier over a 9 baht straw, the door is that way. Do not let it hit you on the way out. Now, if you would excuse me, my lao cow is getting warm and the neighbour's water pump is making a funny noise again. I'm joking, I'm not touching that bloody pump. Tell me, what is the longest you have ever stayed in Thailand, and did you behave yourself? Tell me in the comments. On top of that, if you have ever seen a digital nomad try to fix a water pump, I want photographic evidence. Then do not forget to smash that like button before your visa runs out. Bye bye.